So hi guys, so today we're gonna read The Little House again, but in the last video we did like the first page to the 20th page. So now we're gonna do from the 20th page to the 40th page. Pretty soon there were trolley cars going back and forth in front of the little house. They went back and forth all day and part of the night. Everyone seemed to be very busy, and everyone seemed to be in a hurry. See? Those were there. These, see? You might see them. They are trolley cars. They are trolley cars. And in the back, you might see that there are higher buildings coming. See? Right there. And, more stuff like... now the grass changed its color since it's fall in here. And, trolley cars are going everywhere, see? The trolley cars are going everywhere. There's 2 trolley cars here, and there's trucks here. And there's like a, train railroad, I think that is. That's like a, trains is a railroad. That's the railroad for trolley cars. And, there's the cloud again, and I told you there was more houses built in, and like more stuff. Pretty soon there was an elevated train going back and forth above the little house. The air was filled with dust and smoke, and the noise was so loud that it shook the little house. Now she couldn't tell when spring came or summer or fall or winter. It all seemed about the same. Okay. These are like, elevated trains. See like those trains right there? Those are trains, and there are more buildings here coming. And the trolley cars are still there. The cloud is still there, and it became a little more bigger. And there's stairs right over here so people can go to the train here. And more stairs. And it's also fall here. Fall still. It's still fall. There's ladders, I told you. Stairs. And the buildings that have stairs are still there. And, all are the same still. But then after it might be different. Pretty soon there was a subway going back and forth underneath the little house. She couldn't see it, but she could feel it and hear it. People were moving faster and faster. No one noticed the little house anymore. They hurried by without a glance. See them? You might see subway. That means like an underground train. And see, that's the little house right there. And underneath the little house, there's a train. And there's lights, I think. Yeah, lights right behind and in front. There's people on the ground. And here's stairs here. They're going down. And that's something else. Lights all around in the top. People's, more trains. See? People's, more trains. Everything else. Like there's underground shops here. Underground subway shops. Or, and even don't forget, you might notice there is like in and out signs, like it will bring you up. Even like, elevators that bring you up and down. Right there. And more buildings are made here right behind. See that? That was not before, those buildings. Those buildings were not before. Pretty soon, they tore down the apartment houses and tenement houses around the little house. And they start digging big cellars, one in each side. The steam shovel dug down 3 stories on one side and 4 stories on the other side. Pretty soon, they started building up. They built it up 25-story on one side and 35-story in the other. Wow, it's so high, see? all buildings are broken, and then now they turn into higher buildings. See? They're building, there's cranes, there's people building, and more buildings were added closer. You can see cars, trolley cars, and trucks are going that way. And the subway's still there, going that way. More subways right there. The cloud's way larger now. There's smoke right over there. There's lots of stuff in this. And don't forget, there is now, fences here too. Fences here, see? And now the grass is also turned darker. See, little? Because it's about to be winter. Now the little house only saw the sun at noon and didn't see the moon or stars at night at all. Because of the lights of the city were too bright. She didn't like living in the city, and at nights she used to dream of the country and the field of daisies and the apple trees dancing in the moonlight. Now something else happened to the little house. See? There's a big, large X. See? A big, large X, and even windows broken. But the buildings are yellow too, right there. There's still people on the sidewalks. And still cars, still trolley cars, still trains. They're right here, trains. Still trains. And more train tracks, more cars, more buildings too were added. And more lights. So, she couldn't see the moon at all because about these lights over here were too bright. Because see, it's very close to the little house. Right here is the lights, and here's the little house. The little house was very sad and lonely. Her paint was cracked and dirty. Her windows were broken and her shutters hung crooked. She looked shabby, though she was as good a house as ever underneath. See? The little house is underneath the railroad here. And the little house was sad and lonely. No one ever came in her and take care of her, I think. And her windows were broken, I told her. But even she said she's the best house underneath. Even she looked shabby. See? How? She looked very shabby. See, she's shabby. Then one fine morning in spring, along came the great-great-granddaughter of the man who built the little house so well. She saw the shabby little house but didn't hurry by. There was something about the little house that made her stop and look again. She said to her husband, That's the little house look like just the little house my grandmother lived when she was a little girl. Only that little house was way out in the country on a hill covered with daisies and apple trees growing around. See that? This might be the man who built the little house so well. And even she can see the little house right in front. And even, more cars were added too by then. And even the clouds were right now in the building. See, they became bigger now because, buildings are high. And then some other buildings are passed through the clouds. And even more people's crowded over here. See how much are crowding over here? There's so much here. See? Here, everywhere, a lot. See here and add more people. And even more cars also came right here. See, it's a big traffic. More people here. More cars again. Clouds again. And the woman is actually waving to the little house because, she's the man who built the little house. They found out it was the very same house, so they went to the movers to see if the little house could be moved. The movers looked over the little house and said, "Sure, this house is as good as ever. So she built so well we could move her anywhere." So they jacked up the little house and put her on wheels. Traffic was held up for hours as they slowly moved her out of the city. There's much more people and much more traffic here. All cars are combined, and more people were here, and some other people are like in front of the trolley car right there. And there's a train only right here. You might see there. Only there. And there's also a train there. And even, don't forget, there are airplanes here. Airplanes. Airplanes on top of buildings. At first, the little house was frightened, but after she got used to it, rather she liked it. They rolled along the big road and they rolled along the little roads until they were way out in the country. When the little house saw the green grass and heard the birds singing, she didn't feel sad anymore. They went along and along, but they couldn't seem to find just the right place. They tried the little house here and they tried the little house there. Finally, they saw a hill in the middle of a field. And the little house was and the apple trees were growing around. "There," said the great-great-granddaughter. "That's just the place." "Yes, it is," said the little house to herself. A cellar was dug on top of the hill, and slowly they moved the little house out of the road to the hill. See it? They came from the city, see, and then to the town here, village, and then the countryside. They found a hill here. It looked like just the same hill as she was earlier. See, it's the same, and roads here. More roads into the city. You might see there. Into the city there. That's the city. That's the town. Onto village, and then onto the countryside here. See? Like it changed the places. City is the popularist. Town second. Third is village. And then fourth is countryside. And even countrysides are not too popular, but yeah, see? There's like low houses here. See, 4 houses are been found. See, like 1, 2, 3, and 4. The little house is also included. And the buildings. See how much buildings are here. Town, not higher, but too much. Even the village, not high, but also a lot. But then the countryside, there's farms that you can eat vegetables. That's healthy. And there's apple trees, so you can eat apples. And even, don't forget, there are birds and the pink trees that were earlier. The trees that are blossoming. Like those. See, like that. Those are pink trees that are blossoming right now. Like pink trees means for the trees are blossoming. The windows and shutters were fixed, and once again they painted her a lovely shade of pink. As the little house settled down on her new foundation, she smiled happily. Once again she could watch the sun and moon and stars. Once again she could watch spring and summer and fall and winter come and go. Once again she was lived in a taken care of. See? The little house is back to its hill. And the sun, the chimney there, the pink trees, the birds, the people, the dogs playing, the swing there, and more. See that? She can see the sun and the moon and stars. She can watch spring, summer, fall, and winter come and go. See that? Right there? See that? She can watch the sun. She can watch the moon and stars. She can watch spring and summer and fall and winter come and go. See? She can watch spring, summer, fall, and winter come and go. spring, summer, fall, and winter. The snow is for winter, the leaves are for fall, and the flowers are for summer, and the other flowers are for spring. And then she can watch the moon and stars at the night, and she can watch the sun at the morning or at the evening. And she has a happily, she's so happy that she's back to the countryside or country, and she would never like to go to the city back. Never again would she be curious about the city. Never again would she want to live there. The stars twinkle above her, and new moon was coming up. It was spring, and all was quiet and peaceful in the country. See that? Okay? It's night right now. She can see the stars, moon, the trees, and she can see the grass there. And she's not going to be curious about the city anymore. Okay? And that's the end. See? That's the end. And this is the picture that goes time passes. See, like the countryside, the town, and the village, town, and then to city. See? Countryside, village, town. See those apartment houses and tenement houses, and then to a city that are higher buildings. So, bye guys. So, even don't forget to subscribe, and see you all next time.